Welcome back for another yummy update, baby dolls. It's crime season, isn't it? Of course it is. Check this poll out that I made for you on YouTube's. What price does Ethereum top out at? Most of us expect between 10 and 15K. That's what we're hoping. Now, it's hard, right? We're not all like, we can't just like continuously contrarian ourselves because you and I, we are a smaller representation bubble of, say, mainstream Twink Brothers or Crypto Banter or just any of these other channels out here, right? So, but it's interesting. That's what we're thinking about. It's what we feel like we're owed. If you're interested as well, so Ethereum at around $8,500, that's about 1 trillion market cap, you know? So I guess we're expecting somewhere between 1.5 to 2 trillion, which I hope we definitely get. And by hope, I mean like it could be full cope. Because friends, I know just Ethereum, what it did to us, like, I'm telling you, look, I'm going to have to choke someone. I'm going to have to kill somebody. I don't care. Someone's paying the price for this. Yeah? You heard that saying? An eye for an eye leaves the whole world without Pokeballs? I didn't care about that saying, bro. We've got to take their Game Boy batteries. Ethereum was mega strong in our bear market, survived all these liquidations, survived 0 to 5% interest rates, the highest rates in history, rate hikes, survived FTX, survived literally everything. And then when the bull market starts, it goes to 0. Check this out, friends. You know this coin? Bitcoin. Look at this. Did you know Bitcoin whales have dumped over 500,000 Bitcoin worth $50 billion in the past year? In the past 12 months, since June last year. Yeah, man. They've dumped 500,000 BTC. And the institutions have absorbed 900,000. So you probably ask, Somi, who's dumping, bro? Who's dumping? Because all I ever hear is, it's amazing, it's amazing, it's amazing. You know those people saying it's amazing? Yeah. A lot of Bitcoin maxis dump. They just don't tell you and me. Of course they do. No, who else is dumping? Who else is dumping? And where do you get 500,000 BTC from? So many of these Bitcoin maxi influencers, they've been dumping. You know, friends, we were revealed, speaking about 2022, one of the revelations was, you know, during this period when everybody, including myself, were hoping Bitcoin goes to 100 to 200K. Yeah. When Celsius collapsed, what ended up happening was one of the employees, when they realized that the employees, they found out they were running a Ponzi and then they're not going to get paid. So now they're really pissed off because they're not going to get paid their like last month's salary. So they leaked everybody's personal addresses and details in the database. They were just like, screw it, I just hate everybody. And they sent it. And then people saw all their balances. And then what people did is they found some Bitcoin maxis. And then it turned out, 2 revelations. Number one, they were selling the whole time. And number 2, they had altcoins. And they were earning yield. You can understand. That's cracker. I love yous. The hypocrisy is just the whole time. There's the best part. The one in particular, Bitcoin Maxi, I remember. Don't know their names, okay? Completely forgot. But he was like, he's a very... like religious. Just think about someone, they don't wear shoes, they like live in the woods, and he's like got a wife, she never wears makeup, she's got like the washing out on the heels, and he's got like 8 kids, you know what I mean? And the kids just running around, they got no shoes either, right? And they're all like farmers, they're just Amish, they look like totally Amish. This is one of those dudes. And his posts were like, yield is a sin, you're a sinner, all of you, seeking yield is a sin, fiat is a sin. That was his post. And the guy had Chainlink, bro, and it was staking his Ethereum to earn yield on Celsius. But he's just a full Bitcoin maxi. Oh man, I got tears. I got tears. Now, at the time, it was tears of pain because we're all going to 0. Like here we have Davey Soy Hoffman. But now we look back, it's like, you're a sinner. You're all sinners. Hence, crime season. I mean, crime season's happening right now. We just don't know about the full story until later on. Okay, that's why the big leverage and all this stuff is pretty much the chickens are going to come home to roost. Check this out as well. This Coinfessions Rekt. I learned enough in crypto to get my money back. I lost 5 grand last cycle, put another 5 grand this cycle to see it turn to 30 grand and slowly become 500 bucks. Then I convinced my wife to let me put in 5K. First pump made 16 grand. I sold half. The second pump made 19 grand. F you, crypto Twitter. I'm out. So this is, I've got to look, I'll just be honest. I got a dopamine hit listening to that. I'm like, oh, it's that easy, right? Just throw money in. You just get like a 5x or 3x. You just make your money. No. You remember all the other Coinfessions Rekt story. For every one of these stories, what do the other 9 say? They say, I put 15 grand, I lost all of that. I got another 15 grand, I lost all of that. Borrowed off my mom, I lost all of that. Now I've got negative debt, and I've lost everything. What do? I hate this place. That's most of Coinfessions Rekt. This is the one where one dude, he just did okay, by the way. He's Mr. Foolsy. That's winning in this environment. Here's Jim Rat Crypto, who's taken a temporary 2-minute pause away from thinking about Richard Hart for a moment to write this message. Just swap back in. You don't have to exit crypto. You can swap with one click. You don't have to drain a zero. You can just you just have to be emotionally detached with the money itself, which is for sort tricky. Yes, sir. That's easier said than done when it comes to these. Thank you very much. But yeah, man, that's still the environment, friends. Because this is the thing, man. Look, friends, you can do it who you want, bro. A market's bigger than you and me. It's gonna do whatever it's gonna do. It's like when you make it at the end. Remember these stories. That person, they just want dopamine hits, but they don't know it. You know what I mean? They don't know it. They're like, I need a win now. Because like he got money from his wife. He's like, oh, my wife let me put 5 grand in. So now he's automatically got like someone watching over his back where he's thinking like, oh, I better take money, better take profit. That's irrational. Yeah. What if you put that money in PDI, for example? Or you're getting out on a 2x. What's the thesis, bro? Like you're risking 100% for just a 2x. You may as well do it with every trade. I'm just using an example, right? So that's what happens once you introduce this unnatural pressure onto yourself. A lot of people make the wrong move because then they're just trading their number on their screen. You know, if something goes up 3x, that's why everyone says, oh, take profit. Yeah, bro, that's why you're poor and you haven't made it. What do you mean take profit? You don't know what the thing is. Right, because everyone says, but look, most of the time they're right there because most things do come down. So it's tough. It's tough, right? Like you can't just say, oh, basketball player, always go for a 3-pointer, always. Right? You can't give a rule like that. So what is the answer? Well, you know, it's more nuanced than that. You got to be here 18 hours a day. You got to be comfortable with the risk. You understand Metcalfe's law. You got to understand the cycle and the business cycle, which is what you do. Watch my shows, highest value content in crypto. You understand all of those and you still understand you can do all your homework and do everything right and you can go to zero. So you've got to split your bets up around, but you can't split up into too many bets because then you basically diluted yourself out. You basically have to watch a few things closely, and play the whole cycle. That's pretty much it. But playing the whole cycle, like I say that off the tongue, you know what I mean? Rolls off the tongue, but literally you're delaying dopamine hits every day. You're like, oh my gosh, because it doesn't work, friends. It doesn't work. You get clobbered. Well, here's the thing. Out of 1,000 people, yeah, the top 2 to 3% are going to be okay. That's 20 to 30 people, man. But what about the other 950? What about the other 950? They are going to be food for the 10 to 20. That's why you're trading. That's what happens to you. How has your 2025 been so far? This is BitBoy in his car. Oh man, I hope he's in a good place. I don't know where Bitty Boy is out here. He's feeling himself. Just learn from this lesson, friends. I'll be there. I can't guarantee anything, but I'll be reminding you when euphoria comes. Maybe in 15 years we dead. When euphoria comes, I'll be reminding you, hey man, remember all these stories. People hit these moments, and I'll have to but I'll give you help. I'll give you friendly help. I'll be like, well, comparison's the killer of joy. Don't look at other people's P&Ls. The market doesn't care, bro. The market literally does not care. Okay? Don't even look at your past P&L. Market doesn't care about that either. Okay? It just cares about what's going to happen next, which you never know. That's the most important part. So you think about this already. But trust me, I know we're all human. Yeah. Friends, how many times have you seen like someone comes out? You always seen on Solana, someone shows, oh, this guy, they show these accounts, like someone puts in $480 into this Solana coin and now it's worth 960,000. They show you stuff like that, but you can't give that any weight, man. You can't. It'll kill you, and it doesn't help you make good decisions. I found this very interesting as well, friends. Jane Street barred from Indian markets. So there's these scum market makers. So Jane Street Captail, that's where Soy Bankman-Fried used to work. So India has banned the scum market makers, Jane Street Captail, which are known for being insider Quant Scum in all world markets. Okay, so I actually read a big thread about what they're actually doing. Jane Street, they were up to 40% of the entire volume of some stocks in India. And they would manipulate it. What they would do is, I think the example of like, it was a ChatGPT thread this guy used pretty much. It's kind of like, it's like imagine you knew the price of ketchup, tomato sauce, relied on the price of tomatoes, right? And they correlated with each other. So if tomatoes went up, then the ketchup price would go up as well. So what they would do is they would buy up the tomatoes and they would accumulate a big position. And then what they would do is they'd go to the options market, right? So they'd buy it up and the price would go up. And then in the options market, they'd go bet against it. They'd go take on big positions and big, like wide volatility ones. Then at the end of the day, they would just go and they would like sell all of their things in the last 20 minutes. And their options would like go into huge in the money. And they'd basically just been rinsing everybody on the exchange. This is the entire country of India. So they got banned. So friends, this is what market makers do. All of them do market manipulation. All of them. Wintermute, all of these. Like we're not stupid, okay? But how do you fix that? Well, the thing is, you can't really fix it. What you have to do is, if you allow a lot of competition, then there's all these scammers trying to take money from each other, and they basically fight each other to death. That's honestly how you fix it, because you introduce so much competition. And then, like, it basically makes the market more fluid, like the S&P 500, where it's really hard to scam and game because there's big players everywhere. So the India regulators, if they froze $566 million of Jane Street's capital because they were caught manipulating over 50 assets. Remember, quant market maker scum like Jane Street are on the same bottom shoe level as crypto MEV bots. That's why, please, that's why, friends, there's so many lessons here to show you. Please, as a friendly reminder, share with your friends and family. When you use the slippage settings in your dexes, dude, make sure it's 1% or less. Make sure. If that number, some people leave it at like 99 just to get it in, you literally will lose all your money. A scum MEV bot, because basically what you're saying is there's a tomato for $1, but when you put that slippage to like 99, you're basically saying, hey, I am willing to pay $50 for this tomato. And then what the MEV bot that goes, oh, are you really? So what the MEV bot does in that second is they buy up the tomato from $1 and they sell it back to you at 49 instantly. There you go. You've lost all your money. So, you're putting in $50 to try get 50 tomatoes, but you'll put $50 in, you'll only get one tomato. So that's unfortunately, that's what they do. And all of that is just from one button setting, the slippage. So you have to make sure you don't screw that up. Never ever do more than like, whatever big transaction is to you, whatever, like $5,000 or $3,000. Never do more than that in any. Just sit there, spend an extra time just doing it. Okay, just like you just don't want to screw it up with these because we can't rewind the blockchain, friends. Okay, that's what, because you have scum like these scum MEV, Jane Street, all these subhuman filth, and all these MEV bots pretty much stealing everyone's money. It's effectively what they're doing, friends. Like these are the biggest criminals of all. What they're doing is there's a mother buying milk for a child at the supermarket store. These criminals get a gun, put it to the mum's head, and they grab the milk off her, right? And then they basically say, okay, this thing costs $3. I've got a gun in your head. You're going to have to give me $3.05 for it. That's what happens, okay? So they give him $3.05. Then he goes to the cash register, pays $3 for the milk, gives the girl the milk. But they're putting the gun. That's what the MEV, that's what these Quant Scum do. And they're always doing it by default. That's why in crypto, you got to look for blue ocean chains. All these MEV things, they are on every chain, but less of them are on PulseChain because we're early, all right? Solana, they are everywhere. You even see Solana Pump Fund. The top 87 addresses have made like 1.25 million tokens in a month. Top. They're just, you know what I mean? So this is just, you don't want to be swimming in the red ocean area. That's it. Also, funny poll I made out here. How many times has Jimrat Crypto thought about Richard Hart today? And the winner, 500 times. Welcome to PulseChain. We love you. Here's a little Easter egg. Why did I put it on a golf course? Maybe the final boss is somewhere here. So I know the prices have been poop, friends. Of course, they've been poop. Nothing else really we can do about that except wait for Julie to pretty much continue. I can show you, though, the Ethereum price chart being at 2,500. That's why, friends, I have no dopamine unless this thing ticks 4,300. You know, like I'm not even joking. I promise you, even a 3,000 ETH, that's nothing, dude. That's no. We're being scammed by this pretty much. Like I'm not mildly excited. Give me a 4,200 ETH, and I'm like, oh wow, big things are gonna happen. That's when I'll start to feel it. Okay, just to prepare you for this, because you know it's been a very, very long time, tough time, and everyone's out here trying to grift all these other new, like, you know, macro podcasts and stuff out here. So I guess we'll see how it all plays out, right? Like, subscribe, bitty button, or catch you soon.